It's a day that changed the Rogue Valley forever.
We'll be dealing with the trauma of that for years to come.
3 years is a long time, and 3 years is yesterday. It is hard to wrap our heads around what that feels like, because from moment to moment it changes, particularly on anniversaries.
On September 8, 2020, the Almeda Fire devastated communities in Ashland, Talent, and Phoenix. 3 years later, progress continues to be made, but for those wanting to move back to the Royal Oaks community in Phoenix, they're still waiting.
You guys keep wasting tax dollar money like it's going out of style. It's like your money.
The affordable housing development on South Pacific Highway is expected to have 140 modular units. However, the homes, manufactured in Idaho and cost a total of $26 million, were deemed unsafe by Oregon Housing and Community Services. When they arrived in Oregon, there were multiple issues, including cracking in the walls and water intrusion.
It's horrible. It has been almost 3 years since we've had that fire course through the community. This was supposed to be the first project that we would have on the ground for people to actually have homes in. I thought it would be here last year. Now it's this year, it's going to be next year. So it's really the delay is incomprehensible.
Governor Tina Kotek has also voiced her frustration about the delay, saying she thinks the state will have to pursue legal action against the Idaho vendor. However, United Way of Jackson County, who's played a critical role in recovery from the fire, says there's plenty to be proud of.
What we have to remember for September 8th this year is we have come a long way as a community. Most people who had single-family homes have rebuilt and moved back in.
The city of Phoenix is one of those examples.
We've risen through the ashes. I think as we set our goals for was how do we best get people back into their homes and back into Phoenix, and I think we've shown some real steady progress.
The city says out of the 561 homes destroyed in the fire, 51% have been rebuilt and are occupied. Lagging behind are mobile homes, which make up half of the total homes lost. Only 18% of those homes have been rebuilt and are occupied. But bringing those mobile homes back has not been easy.
And it's just a matter of how quickly you can bring in infrastructure and homes into a single park with 210 units lost. So overall 50%, but I think we're looking at near 100% of what we expect to see rebuilt for both single family and multiple family homes.
In Talent, Mayor Darby Ayers-Flood says around 72% of homes have been rebuilt fully or there are permits to rebuild. For commercial buildings, it's about 50%. Mayor Ayers-Flood says they're focused on rebuilding their businesses and affordable housing.
Where we're still lagging is in that affordable housing stock. Yeah, so those folks that were, less insured and trying to find their way back are the ones that we're really focused on now.
Talent recently updated their city code to allow for more affordable housing, but there are still Almeda Fire survivors in what local leaders call transitional housing. According to Mayor Ayers-Flood, 53 trailers donated by the state for those without a home are still being used.
It's still completely full, and there's still demand. There's still hotel rooms that are full in the Medford area. So until we get folks resettled back into their own communities, yeah, we're not recovered for sure.
The Jackson County Community Long-Term Recovery Group was created shortly after the Almeda and South Obichain fires. Their goal is to support partners who are working on the ground to identify gaps and barriers to recovery. Right now, the group says housing is still the biggest need.
It is housing, it is housing, it is housing. And I hear from survivors more often than you would think, I don't have time to deal with my feelings. I just need to get rehoused. And so we have to be attendant to both of those.
Access is helping those who need to be rehoused through its Center for Community Resilience program. It says 433 households have been permanently rehoused through rentals, with an additional 210 households still in transition. The nonprofit has also helped 85 households achieve homeownership again, with 185 households still waiting. Although progress has been made, there is still plenty more to come.
A lot and not enough. We have accomplished so much over these 3 years, but it's still so much work ahead of us.
I'd like to say we've made 80%, and the 80-20 rule applies, because the 20% is going to be the hardest. We're still deeply in it, and we're a great community. Still, people are at the table, still people are working hard, still people are trying to ensure that we get everyone resettled.